This is a special project. This is one of those projects that you get every few years if you're lucky. Thank you to Integra Builders who built this beautiful home and Michael Mershow for inviting us into this project and for saying that he doesn't do remodeling and call Jeff. So we're very appreciative of that. But this project started in a direction, and then a designer came in named Jody Perot who did an outstanding job of working together with us to pull the space together, and I want to show you some of the features of it. And it kind of evolved over time, and that was okay because the clients were great. I think the result is beautiful, and I just want to show you some of the features of this space. So to begin with, this was an unfinished room, and this unfinished room was storage, but what we knew we wanted to do was make it a health room, a dance room, a space that was originally going to get like a ballet bar, and we were going to have mirrors on both ends, which you see came to play out. We were going to have the existing closet that was here, and then we were going to do some closet storage on this side because we've got some mechanicals here that we had to hide. But where we pivoted was in this area because the intent originally was going to be we're going to have a sauna facing us in this direction and another closet over here to access a water shutoff. But as it evolved, the client said, I really don't want this closet. So we got rid of the closet, we moved the water shutoff into this closet so they had access to it. And then we can mirror the entire wall. Now there are still some things behind this wall, but with suction cups and some cheating and pulling of this trim, we can get at it if need be. But most of what we would need to do is inside that closet. So where this evolved is, first thing is Bravas Audio Video did an incredible job with this space. And the first thing I'm gonna draw your attention to is technology in this room. So we have TV functionality behind the mirror, which is so cool. This one's a first for us in doing this. Then by changing the orientation of this infrared sauna, now somebody can be sitting in the sauna watching something on TV if they choose. And so it kind of creates a natural flow into this space and makes a good use of this area. Now there'll be other things done in this health room. Potentially tables going to be laid out for massage and things like that, or dance. It will be used as a dance studio, already has been used as a dance studio. Very, very cool. But pulling this entire space together, white oak trim, very light, natural, spa-like feel. Everything was done intentionally, and this is where Jody did a great job of pulling beautiful sconce lights into the space. We then had our cabinet folks custom make pieces for us so we could create this bench area that Jody worked with us to design. Obviously she accessorized it very nicely. And then we kind of worked with Jody and the client to say, all right, how do we build this wall, expose a little bit of the glass of the sauna, but make it feel warm and inviting and have this area be very close to the sauna. So everything is very intentionally done in here. And I think it turned out fantastic. Very, very proud of it. And it's a fun one. The space feels really, really nice. when this project began, our initial thought was we're going to do a home theater in this area, in this room, and we're going to take the door and put it right here to enter into the area. So you're out into the main space, you work your way into the home theater, the screen's on the opposite wall. The only problem was when we got into it, this wall's holding up the house essentially. There's a lot going on here. It was going to be very expensive, very complicated. We're going to get into the ceiling and everything out here. And so again, great client. We started looking at options for how we might play with it. Bravas, being a very good audio video partner, started talking about things that we could do if we started to tweak and use the space differently. And then we came to what you'll see in here as we built this out. So we were able to keep the existing doors that were built at the time on the home. And when we come in, now we're coming into the side of the space. And this becomes our screen wall. And this becomes our seating area. And you can see that Bravas has the projector up behind us. And we have very large screen, lots of details. So we built the risers, we built the steps, trimmed everything out. All the lighting is automated in this space. There's a lot of detail, and it all begins and ends with technology for the most part. So our part was to create the framework or the skeleton of the space, I would say, and then let our friends at Bravas come in and implement their technology, and then we come back and put the finishing touches on it to pull it all together. And then Jody gets engaged and adds all the accessories and picks the sconce lights and the paint colors and pulls everything together, and it ends up being something beautiful like this. To be in this space is amazing. It's stunning. The technology is nuts. We'll start with the movie view, and I'll draw your attention to the stars on the ceiling. Fiber optic panels with stars that blink, absolutely ridiculous. Then they used low-level LED lights to create the ambiance, and we created a framework and a trim in conjunction with the audio video people and the designer to just subtly hide those lights and let them tuck back and throw the glow and the ambiance into the space. You can even see that the screen is backlit if you look in this direction. Just small, subtle touches. Lights at the stairway, just for safety reasons, and again, just detail. And then this is movie mode. Then Bravas set up sports mode. So we bring the lights up a little bit. We've got the sconces on, still low level lighting. The LEDs are dimmed. The LEDs in the ceiling over the screen are off. And great to put on your favorite game. The next piece then is that you have all of the lighting on, and everything comes back up at the touch of a button to one level. The entire space is fully lit and functional for whatever you want to do in the space. So gorgeous space. You can see we use the acoustical panels to create texture on the interest on the walls, and very sleek, unique sconces along the way. We also had this area beneath the stairs that the client wanted functionality to get to. And if you look very closely, you'll see a seam here that we've kind of pulled out just so you can see it. This panel is removable, and you can get back here, and then they can push totes and store out of season items in that space, which I think is a very functional use of space, very practical. And it was one of the things that played very nicely with the acoustical vertical wall panels, the slatted wall panels. I'm trying to think of other things. Like, there's one other thing is there are two electrical panels here. It's not the most appropriate place, or it's not the place we would choose to have all the power come into the house, but it is what it is. And so we've got inset doors and a panel that are just neatly sets there. And then if somebody needs to access that panel, we can literally lift that up, set it aside, and you have full access to the electrical panel. So just a nice hidden item, or a way to take your eye away from the fact that there are two surface panels right there. So you can see, like I said, the projection up here. The seating is all automated, very, very nice. And just carpet pulls the space together and makes it feel warm and cozy and homey. And I'm sure many games and many movies will be watched in this space. So we're very proud of it. Really, really enjoyed working on this, especially when you get into one it's an evolution. It's not just one particular path that you say, okay, this is what we're going to do, we're going to implement. This was a work in progress along the way. We're interacting with the client, talking about trade-offs and pivoting and coming to an end result that I think everybody's very, very happy with. Even down to the details of just painting the speakers to make things disappear, so that everything is intentional in the space. The last thing that I'll touch on is, I call it the while you're here list. And while we were here and the client got comfortable with us and we were doing the health room and we're doing the home theater, and the client wants to do something with this area out here to elevate it. And so there's a bar area over on this side that was all existing, and they wanted to do something to elevate this space that just had a TV mounted on the wall. And so again, Jody Perot, the designer, came up with a concept. And she said, well, could we get cabinets built across the bottom where the PlayStation and the speakers and those types of things could be housed? And then could we do something behind the TV to pull all the space together? So using our cabinet maker, we found the closest match to those cabinets without going to crazy town and trying to do something duplicate. We found something very, very close that when you pan across the space, it complements it very well. And then we pulled the elements of white oak that we had in the health room nearby back into this wall and built what you see here, which is a backdrop for this wall-mounted television with storage down below for toys and speakers and games and things. So we love the while you're here list. And that means people are comfortable with us, and whatever they ask us to do, we will try to do to be of help. So hope you've enjoyed this tour of this project. It's a really fun one. It's very detailed. It's not about doing large amounts of space. This is about doing small amounts of space very well and very intentional. And I think it's turned out very nice.